In a shocking twist, the security checkpoint at the library is manned by, guards and stuff. Hope's carrying a small arsenal of pepper spray and tasers, but Cooper reckons he's got a better idea. So let's see where that goes.
Wanted. Well, Derringer and the Overseer got what they wanted. A trophy kill. I'm surprised they didn't drag Zager's body through the facility as a warning to all of the would-be revolutionaries.
Zager, as we know, is dead. It's never made completely clear exactly how recently this was. One assumes it's reasonably recent, since his wanted posters are still up. But on the other hand, it's equally plausible that they've been left up deliberately, carrying a big triumphant deceased stamp so everybody can know how much the government won.
Let's see what he's carrying.
This isn't the most complicated steal, but you'd be surprised how quickly this guy can turn around and screw you over. Anyway, there's a coffee pot in this kitchen. But I distinctly remember state propagandist Matty Sade complaining in an interview, well, not an interview, but an audio clip, about how the state had taken away her caffeine. Maybe they've only got decaf. Ugh.
This is an early prototype for a weapon Derringer insisted we need in Metamorphosis. With Zager dead, I'm not sure who Derringer thinks we're at war with, but he bought 5,000 of these things with money from our annual food budget. Hopefully, they are edible landmines.
It's both possible and incredibly obvious that this is going to be our third weapon type. Unfortunately, we're not going to see it in action for a very, very long time. So that's sad. Now, about the office across the hall. We can't get in there. There is, after all, a level 5 locked door in the way. But we can see inside, and look who it is. As the game has subtly hinted a few times, like once or twice, Cooper is a massive nerd. I mean, seriously. He also has a lot of stuff to look at.
Cooper, I went looking for you earlier in your little woman cave over there. I shouldn't need to tell you what I found was entirely unacceptable. You were given the added task of overseeing the surveillance monitoring program, because I thought you were man enough to handle the responsibility. However, now that I've been exposed to all that in your office, I'm forced to reevaluate my decision. This is a severe behavioral disorder, Cooper. And in its own way, as screwed up as anything Zager tried to do. I expect you to fix this lapse in judgment before I have to come back with a hammer and a trash bag.
Derringer, folks. There's an awful lot to unpack there. But honestly, it can just as well speak for itself.
I was given this award for my loyalty to the Prizrak. Ironic, given the current circumstances. They also misspelled my name.
Cooper's services to surveillance are actually documented in a corner of the first newspaper article we can read in the game, because République just likes attention to detail that much. Anyway, that's the source of his alias Fred Copper, in case you were wondering. Because République likes attention to detail that much.
Well, when you ask me nicely like that...
Don't be shitty to IT. Come on, this is elementary. Anyway, that actually comes from the guard who was patrolling outside. You know, the guy who we chumped using a locker. Twice.
The great thing about Kickstarter is that we can bring back classic games from the past. I remember playing the Shadowrun pen and paper game in my parents' basement. It was kinda fun. I hear it's much better when you play with other people.
Jesus Christ, Cooper.
Derringer asked me how much money I wasted on this DFA poster. I said it was $10. I lied. Turns out it was $250 on Kickstarter. Worth every penny.
In 2013, Kickstarter had given us DFA, FTL, and Kentucky Route Zero. It was a good time.
As a reminder that Kickstarter is, and will forever be cool, I hang this Shovel Knight poster proudly.
It also gave us Shovel Knight, which has since become a poster child, lol, for Kickstarter success. And yes, it also gave us Mighty No. 9. But in our defense, we didn't know at the time that that was going to be dog shit.
The box that I keep my video game cartridges in. If I ever get my games back, I'm going to store them in a more secure fashion.
I'm not completely sure how they were able to go to the effort of replacing all of the cartridges with floppy disks and changing all of the games, and yet not turn Cooper's cartridge holder into a floppy disk holder. I mean, come on. There's another level 5 locked door at the back of this office, but of course we've seen it before. It was the second level 5 locked door we ever encountered in the game. That's because Cooper's office connects the power station to the brig. Anyway, I'm pretty sure the trip through that particular door is one way. We're going to have to use the Find Hope button to get back. But anyway, here it is on the map, just in case you didn't believe me. Well, bye Cooper, have fun pretending to work. This is a storage room. It has all of the exciting amenities you'd expect a storage room to have. A lockbox containing a dirt common consumable, a locker to hide in.
I'll hold on to this.
But the most important features, at least if you're playing in a particular way, are the portable radio and the lockable door. I'm probably going to use these things for the obvious trick at least once during this LP. But not this one, and not this time. It looks like Cooper's incredible plan requires us to get through this door, so let's get on that.
We need a thumbprint. I don't know whose.
I've never seen anybody reach this door without already having a thumbprint. But I imagine if you didn't have it, Cooper would give us a call and tell us about where it is. This place seems very important, but also very lightly guarded. There's really only 2 guys in here, and they're both just standing in empty rooms, staring at stuff. I don't get it. In the Grand Tradition, there's some pepper spray to pick up in here, but also in the Grand Tradition, we can't carry any more pepper spray, even though we can carry, like, 6 more tasers. I don't get that either. In yet another Grand Tradition, our new security friend is only the slightest threat if you need to steal from him. Which we do, so bully for us. Note the single uncovered point of entry, the abundant cover, and the Sega cassette lying on the side, and his very uncomplicated patrol route. Seriously, this guy is a really, really bad guard. He's very good at carrying stuff though. I mean seriously. Honestly, if there's a single characteristic flaw in the way that I play this game, is that it never seems to occur to me that I could solve most of my theft-related problems by just running up and pepper spraying the guy and then refilling using any single one of the abundant cans that are lying around that I can never pick up because I'm always full on pepper spray.
The cassette. I'll check his pockets. I got something.
Notably, the amount of crap a guard is carrying doesn't affect how long it takes to fully pickpocket him, so that's nice to know. Anyway, once we're back out of this cage, this man is of absolutely no importance to us. But I'm gonna duck behind things and stick to cover anyway, because, you know, stealth game. Grand Traditions. Anyway, here's our objective. Big red button. In a power plant. This seems sane. Anyway, I'm delighted to announce that we have completed our collection of books and video games for this chapter.
If ever there was a flawed prophet, it was Huxley. His world state gave its citizens freedom to cavort in pleasure as a distraction from political activity. But look at the 20th century's sexual revolution. Sexual curiosity leads to self-ownership, which invariably results in dissent. Parents of the Midwestern United States are right to force this from high schools. Even if the wings of a bird are faulty, their trajectory may still be true.
The headmaster seems to have a real problem with understanding a book's positions on the states that it portrays.
Nabokov, a pornographer, whose sins surpass even pornography. Humbert, the moral straggler, does not enlighten. His aesthetic tantrums for nymphets merely confuse. Lolita proffers that the sex drive is bound to perception of beauty, all bound in craven lust for a child. If such a wretch is allowed speech, all manner of perversions will romp through our facility, and with that, the twin demons of subjectivity and dissent. Lock it up.
Leaving aside whatever the hell was that point about the twin demons of subjectivity and dissent, does the headmaster seriously think that this book's portrayal of Humbert is intended to be in any way sympathetic? Like, at all? Did he read it? Don't answer that. Instead of cogitating on that any longer than is necessary, here's some video games.
The fall is so immersive, I find myself thinking like the protagonist while I play. Let's say I was a sentient Asimov AI, embedded in the suit of a space pilot critically injured in a crash landing. Would I reject my directives and fight for my life? Frankly, it's a dilemma best explored within the confines of the game. The eerie parallels to our current predicament are not lost on me.
The Fall is an excellent example of the kind of narrative that can only be explored by video games. You could also call it an excellent Metroidvania, although I feel that might be missing the point of it a little bit. Also notable, The Fall is the first part in a trilogy, of which the second part is about a month old as of the time of this video.
The team at Supergiant quit their cushy corporate jobs, moved in together, and cranked out this seminal indie action game. Bastion is not only worth playing because of its strong narrative and action RPG elements, but because it was an early victory in the independent game revolution. Bravo, kid.
Supergiant have now made 3 narratively rich, beautiful action games, and I can confidently declare that if they announced a 4th today, I would pre-order it immediately, sight unseen.
Cooper here. Now is our chance. Derringer just entered the library's security checkpoint and is fired up about something. Let's see what is going on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I'm heading to you now.
Good evening, sir. Watch your step. You may enter the machine at any time.
Are you always an idiot, or just when I'm around?
Sir?
What's your number, you stammering waste of space?
Sir,
I'm not going into that thing. Now, we've been over this before. Turn it off.
But sir...
Turn it off, or you'll wake up a month from now in the infirmary.
We have to get Derringer and the other Prizrak out of that room. I suggest we create a little chaos in the spirit of Zager. Tell the girl to power down the grid. Then, Derringer and the Prizrak will freak out. They'll leave the security checkpoint. Then you can send the girl through safely under cover of darkness. Power down the grid now.
This is an amazing plan.
I didn't ask you to shut down half of Metamorphosis.
Sir, it wasn't me, sir. It was remotely deactivated in the power station.
What? Someone's tampering with the generator again? I smell a rat. Well, don't just stand there. Alert all Prizrak in the area. Get them to the power station. That means you two don't...
But sir, who's gonna man my post?
Damn it, stop asking questions and go.
An amazing plan.
Was this your plan?
Yeah, that literally was our plan.
Oops. Okay. So that's not good. It appears my plan has backfired. I should have thought this through better. Now, you must get the girl out of there before Derringer's men arrive. Sorry about all that. That plan did not go down as I hoped. But, the good news is that we have cleared out the library's security checkpoint. It is safe to send the girl through now.
It's a good thing that time pauses while Cooper's talking to us, because what's going to happen now is all of the guards in the area, well, 3 of them, will start walking towards this area, and will catch us. It's also a good thing that we pickpocketed a screwdriver, because, you know, that's a hell of a shortcut. And hey, there goes Cadogan from outside. This is great. Okay, that's not great.
Let go of me!
Every now and then the game does actually punish you for being impatient. Doesn't happen very often, which is why I keep falling for it. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of any threat from these guys.
Well done, my friend. That was impressive. Sorry about the screw up back there. I guess I got a little overzealous. If you need my assistance going forward, I will be happy to oblige. But, it seems you are better suited to helping the girl escape than I am. If you succeed, make sure she doesn't forget about us pathetic souls trapped down here. Best of luck. Cooper, out.
And that's it. We've snuck through the whole area, we've cleared out the library checkpoint, we've even gotten all of the books and all of the video games, and technically all of the tapes. So let's just get out.
I owe you my life. What little of it is mine. Now let's get to the librarian. He'll help us. Please, stay with me.
Who is this?
If you're going to kill me, just get it over with.
Shut up! If I actually wanted you dead, I would have given you to Derringer earlier. Now walk slowly forward, ahead of me, and do not turn around. You are part of something that you cannot understand. There is more going on tonight than these cameras can capture. You took something that belongs to me. You called this interloper and brought them into our République. And I will find out why.
Surprise! There's stuff to get in this cutscene.
Derringer has a server with the nude images of every poor soul who stepped inside that body scanner. Except for Derringer himself, of course.
More airport commentary. More!
A broken collar. The precal who wore it was also broken by Mireille, and that was before the Prizrak got their claws into him.
Well, that can't be good. Did this belong to Weep? Or Mole? Or maybe one of the other teen dissidents this place appears to be infested with?
Look at me. Honest eyes do not hide. Mireille Azali Prideaux, July 14th at 0158. Dissection of a precal. Mireille Azali Prideaux. Dissection of a precal.
Some doors in Metamorphosis require voice recognition data to open.
Okay. State your name.
Hope.
State your name.
390H.
Very good. Quit shaking. I'm going to ask you some questions in French. I find your English to be too clever. Des mots habiles peuvent camoufler la vérité. Tu sais ce qui arrive quand on ne dit pas la vérité. Qui t'a donné le journal de la guerre?
Je ne peux pas vous le dire, madame.
Menteuse! Qui t'a appris cette arrogance? Est-ce que ce traître a un nom? Comment est-ce qu'il t'aide? Qui a piraté notre système? Qui a attaqué nos prises-rack? Qui t'a donné l'ordre d'attaquer nos prises-rack?
Je ne peux pas vous le dire, madame.
Après tout ce que nous avons fait pour toi,
You watch me.
we look out for you.
You lock me up.
We protect you.
From what?
Yourself. The world beyond those walls is dead. And the ones who killed it would not hesitate to do the same to us. We survive only because they do not know we exist. I pray you have not doomed us all, child. What do they know? What do they know about our Republic? Que savent-ils sur notre République?
Everything. Whatever you do to me, they'll be watching.
You are late. I found a precard here who has lost her way. There was no need for that. This one, I believe, will go quietly.
She'll come back.
And with that, episode 1 is finished. If you'd coughed up $10 in April 2012, this is what would have landed on your iPhone in December 2013. I'd say it makes a pretty good case for itself. Gameplay-wise, it may be really less of a matter of a vertical slice and more of a matter of one cupcake out of the wrap. But the narrative is compelling, the setting is fascinating, and the production is all around really slick. Critics agreed and rolled out a wave of 7s and 8s and 1 to watch awards. More importantly, Camouflage got paid. Plus, they proved that big budget mobile games other than Infinity Blade were viable. Wins all around, really. Anyway, I'm not going to commentate over this lovely licensed synth pop, but there will be a shred of content after the credits, so don't go anywhere.
You've
We need plasters and our hands are untied. Will you believe me that I love you? Would a fool like been and beg you again and again to believe me that I want you? And now we both can see. I see you in my dreams. There you are, below my screen. We'll be like in our willows with you. We'll be free like we used to. What does that even mean? It means we won't let things be a good choice to choose. We'll be like in our willows with you. We'll be free like we used to. What does that even mean? It means we want nothing to be a good choice to choose. Yeah, a good choice to choose. You're so very cool. 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 You're so very cool.
To commemorate our beating the first episode, Cooper joins us on the title screen for some reason. I mean, sure, narratively this makes sense, but it does kind of break the continuity of our hacker's point of view. I'm probably overthinking this again, aren't I? Anyway, instead of proceeding to the next episode, we're going to reload a checkpoint. The game structurally isn't very kind to completionists, but the restart button is one of the very few concessions it gives us, so we're going to take it gladly. We don't have that great a need for it though, because as you can see, we've had a pretty good run completionism-wise. We've collected all the intel we can, except the dev commentary, but you know, for obvious reasons we're not really going to be getting into that. Plus, we found all the video games, all the books, and all of the Sega tapes, except the one that you can't actually collect until episode 2, because that's a thing for some reason. We don't actually get credit for the Sega tapes until we listen to them, which I haven't done on camera for reasons that I think I've explained already. And speaking of cameras, we have not hacked all of them, and we never will, because that is, frankly, an enormous pain. Anyway, that's it from episode 1. I'm going to go and rescue my completionism numbers by listening to those tapes, but in the meantime I guess I'll just see you in episode 2, in which we'll bust Hope out of prison. Again.